part 5.
Just don't mention it.
Yeah. So the next instalment, we've done the suspension, servicing, brakes, bushers, all that stuff's done. We've tuned it, that's all good now. Performance box is still in, going to try and document it every time. So we're on the ramp now, ready for some shiny bits. We're going to do the exhaust. We'll get to the materials and the choices and why we've chosen them in a minute. But we'll get it up in air and then let's see what standard looks like. So underneath we've got the still a bit warm exhaust from driving to work. This standard is 2.5 inch. They are stainless steel, but they go absolutely terrible all the time. They're not the best quality. So 2.5 inch, works its way back, a couple little flat spots in, and then it goes down to 2 inch pieces. No boxes at this point because it's got a DPF which is quite an hefty silencer really. Wires off the 2 little boxes, and there's a before video that we'll insert in here somewhere. Even though it's only got these 2 small boxes, it's very quiet, so when people say they want a really noisy exhaust but they want to keep the DPF, you're going to struggle because a car that's not got a DPF would probably have at least another 2 massive silencers on, so see how much work that's doing. And then up to the tips, rolled 3 inch slash cut, nothing too fancy, all pretty good, standard. Yeah, not too much soot on it because it's a DPF car. So yeah, let's have a look at some new stuff. So you could see that the exhaust on the standard car were all crusty. It's what, 10, 11 years old.
Hold up, hold up.
Expect it not to be perfect, but it's the grade of stainless that's the problem. Everything that you see here is 316 stainless, so it's pretty good stuff. What they use in food industries and stuff. We have everything manufactured to our specification, so like all these silencers, little stubby ones to get at the back, they're all made to our specifications. These little things that we make for the exhaust hangers, they're really helpful for us because they can pop out quite easily. Stainless expands a lot more than people would think, like that exhaust might end up 10 or 15 millimetres longer when you're absolutely on it. Our track car, it probably moves 1 inch when we're in a 45-minute endurance race. Can't forget the little Darkside tags, we'll try and get those on the tips somewhere, maybe underneath. And then size-wise, standard, it's 2.5 to 2 inch. We're going to be going 3 inch down to 2.5, so stepping it up 1 size. You don't need any more than that. A 3 inch exhaust will flow probably 700 horsepower, something like that. We measure the back pressure, and even on a 2.5 inch exhaust on something like our track car, race cars, absolutely fine. So yeah, that's the exhaust. For later, we're going to do the exhaust first, but for later, we've got one of our DPF Delete Downpipes just so we can do a video to show the noise difference, because it'll be quite surprising through the boxes how quiet it is still. If it were a customer job and they weren't deleting the DPF, we'd probably only put 2 silencers in. So for this one we'll put 3 in, because there's no point ignoring all past experience that once you take the DPF off, the exhaust will be noisy. With 3, it'd be livable. On the motorway it might be a little bit drony. It'd be nice to get bigger and bigger boxes in, but it's just impossible once you put the silencer out to make it as quiet as standard. So if you've got standard sounding exhaust, standard one. Yeah, this, our exhaust and downpipes and everything are all fully TIG welded. Everything's stainless steel. We try and do everything as neatly as possible. It's not always the sort of required to be perfectly neat welding stuff. Sometimes a scruffy weld might be stronger than a neat weld, but we try and do both. But this really nice piece fits exactly as standard, and part way through this video we'll stop and show you how much room we've got for even more interesting stuff. So keep tuned in. That's the DPF, still warm. So you can see when you take that out, shift these around a bit, get rid of that DPF, you've got absolutely tons of room to do interesting stuff. So we'll get this ripped off, do some test fitment, and we'll come back to you. So this is the DPF. Just got it removed now. Leaves quite a bit of run down back of there, but I'll have a look at it in a sec. You can see there's a pressure tapping before and after the DPF. There's also a few sensors, the alarm sensor there, exhaust temperature pre-DPF, there's one post-DPF as well, and there's one pre-turbo on these, so you can measure everything you need to measure when you're tuning, and also you can measure everything for the emissions as well, so how what this is getting. Where the DPF lived, there's quite a bit of space, as you can see. What to do with that space? Do we just fill it with a 3-inch delete pipe, or different, and put something like this big all-set HX35? I thought it's pretty similar, so if we need bigger, we can go bigger. How it's going to go exactly is to be determined, but one good thing is it physically fits. We can have it whichever way we want to have it, really. It fits in there. I'm not going to try and hold it up because it weighs about 15 kilograms. But yeah, we can. Maybe that's a hint to what's to come. Maybe we're just talking rubbish. I'll let you decide. Delete pipe fitted, all TIG welded. See, it's pretty visible from the top, so come MOT time, it's not going to take a rocket scientist to seat, which is not good. But we're doing this video just to show what fitment's like and the difference in noise. It's sell these pipes to a lot of countries where emissions legislation is not as strict. So underneath we can see 3-inch downpipe. It's very tight. Not much access on a right-hand drive car with the steering column. Stainless flexi in there. All TIG welded. All the way down. Big box, which is not as big as we were hoping for. On the first video we got a bigger one out. We were hoping to put it further along here, but we've seen a little bit of speed bump rash from how low it is when my missus will drive the car, which is not good. So it splits off into 2.5 inch. All TIG welded again to these little boxes. The tips, they're not ideal, but these are not the permanent tips that we're going to be running, so we're hoping to like an S5 or something like that. So we'll need quad tips. We've got room to be able to do that. This will work out for now. Yeah, see what it sounds like.